Well, the record continues on, and I've been drinking a lot. This theme, I think, has returned or is on the past two records, at least Funeraria and Ballad of Cowboy Dan. There are some drinking songs and some a little bit of detail there on the rituals, the routines. I do like on the album, starting with Suburban Dreaming, that real frantic tempo. It feels like just the cacophony of noise and the stuff, the crazy and the mundane all mashed together, a little microcosm of some of our lives. Tell me about, on my drinking, or I've been drinking a lot. There's that song, my own drinking song. I don't want to put you on the spot, but are you still sober, going on a few years here?
Yeah, it's been 5 years, actually.
Congratulations, Dan.
Thank you. And I guess it featured quite heavily in my life. And even though, when I wrote that, I was still drinking. So I might move away from that theme for a few years, but I still find it very interesting, people's mindsets in alcohol addiction who maybe have a problem and refuse to confront it, because it's not, the addiction's always the end product. It's not really I'm not an expert. The way I see it is that it's a symptom, it's sort of the end product of a whole bunch of issues that you've got going on in your life, namely ego at the center. And so I still find that, find the psychology of addiction really interesting. So, I like that piece a lot. I've been drinking a lot. There's a lot of humor in it as well. So,
yes. One of my favorite lines here, Rigby, your dog, is finding it hard to forgive me. And that says a lot about my dog, Rigby. There's another bit of that Dan Brodie humor. You're going to find it. You just got to wait for it. Some of these tracks. I love that part.
He's a border collie. So, border collies are very friendly dogs. They're very forgiving.
Mm-hmm. A couple lines here speak to me in my past, going back 12 or so years ago. I like to drink alone, less chance of an argument breaking out and children being disowned. I was one of those people, I didn't see what the problem was. People would always, there was a stigma attached to drinking alone. I loved it. I would be drinking, getting just hammered, watching TV, and there's no one to upset. There's no argument to be had. And if you get up and stumble on your way to the kitchen or to the bathroom, nobody saw it. If you pass out in the middle of the floor, nobody knows. And not to say that happened a lot, but there was a couple times I remember I was coming in from outside and I tripped where I really didn't need to trip and fall, but I just completely stumbled and rolled over. And I looked up and I was thinking, well, wow, nobody saw that. So moving along here.
It didn't happen. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? I wonder why that there's a stigma attached to it, because I never saw a problem with it either. And I think maybe people are scared of looking too inward, and that's what they're afraid of.
I think that it's supposed to signal that you have a problem. If you're not willing to go out and drink socially, it just means that you want to be by yourself with your bottle.
Yeah, well, that's bullshit then, isn't it? Because we see them out every night.
Yes.
And I mean, you're not throwing punches at yourself at home. I mean, you're doing it in a pub. You're doing it, making an idiot of yourself, getting behind the wheel of a car. Yeah. So
I did used to experience, I wonder if you did as well. I would wake up the next morning and obviously you feel pretty rough, but the first few thoughts that would go to my head were, somebody should be really mad at me right now, or somebody should be very disappointed with me in this state that I'm in. Look at me. I'm scrambling eggs at 2:00 in the afternoon. What's going on here? But I would get right back to it the next day.
Yeah. Dreadful. Well, I totally identify with you, Dan. And are you sober now?
I stopped drinking November of 2023, went all of 2024. I'm at a point now where I have usually just a beer, probably twice a year or 3 times a year. I've figured out I don't really want alcohol in my life, but there was a time, I think in the middle of 2025, where I was visiting a family member, and I did not have anything non-alcoholic with me, and I was thirsty, and there was only thing there was a cooler, and the only thing in it was beer. And I had imagined this scenario. I thought, okay, well, if you get into a position and you're away from home and the only thing available to you is a cold beer, well, just there you go. And so I drank it. It was okay, and that was the only thing I had. So my situation, I would love to just have not had anything. But yeah, here in 2026, I think I've probably had 4 or 5 total drinks, where I used to have 4 or 5 drinks a night. So it's not a part of my life. And if you were to put a Dr. Pepper soda and a shot of whiskey in front of me, the one that I would have a very hard time resisting would be a cold Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
Somebody put that in front of me and said, here it is, but you can't have it. I would be very disappointed. If they put the Jack Daniels in front of me and said, you can't touch that, it'd be like, okay, fine. Yeah. So I guess that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think that sounds like you've got a good, healthy relationship with it.
How is it? I am curious when you're performing, most of the time it's in establishments that are serving alcohol. Are you okay now in the present day being around it or having a conversation with someone that has alcohol in their breath and they're very close to you? Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fine. I suppose at a certain, it's rare for me to be out, at 1 o'clock in the morning though, with that next level of partying, which is the next step after the gig. I mean, most of the time by that stage, I've sort of had enough anyway. And it's not to say that I wouldn't, but I like to get home and get up and work on music again. I was always out. I was always doing out until all those really late hours, and I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Yeah, I don't want to miss out on a beautiful morning.
I agree wholeheartedly, and for me, it's the clarity that came with pushing alcohol to the side, and the ideas that come to me, and then me wanting to spend time with those ideas and not waste them. I think there was a long period of time where I had things that I could have gotten onto paper, or maybe could have started the podcast. I started it in 2023. I could have started this in 2020. Well, actually, there was a point there of the first baby and the second. Yeah, it may not have been too good, but in 2015, when I was still single, I just placed a larger importance on alcohol, and it just sort of has a tendency, if you take it as far as I did, or maybe as you did, it overruns. It kind of takes you out of the driver's seat, or you're just less interested. I feel like I'm very interested in the next day and just being a part of the day.
Yeah, me too. I like a calm mind from which to create. I think that if there's too much turmoil in there, I don't want to create. It's not that time's past. You've got to actually sit down and work at things. So. But yeah, a lot of the albums about, mental illness and things like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm always interested in that. It's something that I struggle with depression and so forth. So I like to write about it, and it feels nice to have it out in the world and sort of off my chest, and maybe other people can identify with it as well. So there's a few pieces on there about that as well.
Yeah, I really, really thoroughly enjoy this latest LP, Dan. It's such a confessional piece. Like you said, I thought most of it might be from your background, and like you said, just about all of it is. And it takes a lot of courage to put it out there in this format, because spoken word, your voice and your narration is at the forefront, and it's not behind layers of other pieces of other orchestration. Was that, I know you did some spoken word on the Ballad of Cowboy Dan.
Yeah, the final track on, the title track, the Ballad of Cowboy Dan.
Yes.
That's spoken word, and that's what led me to this project ultimately, because what I loved about that record the most was that song, and I felt like that was a turning point for me to be able to tell a story. For me, that was the most powerful thing on the record, as much as I love the other songs. And so that was a way forward. You know, you often, with any art form, you can see where you're going from the last piece and where to go. It's like a sign. You see an arrow, you go, oh, this is where I need to go. And so that piece was, that's what led to this record. I thought, oh, it's kind of cool just telling a story.
Well, you're very adept at it. And wow, I wish I could have seen that moment where you realized, oh, I could do 10 or 12 tracks like this and put it out there. But the end result is fantastic, because I just don't think there's, unless I'm missing a large number of artists that are putting out records like this in 2026 that sound like Suburban Dreaming.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's getting a great response here in Melbourne and Australia, and people are playing it, and you know, a lot of people don't quite know what to make of it, and that's okay as well. Yeah, I've heard some spoken word before, but I think because of the sounds and stuff, that lends itself more to sort of my love of film and cinema, and I get drawn into scenes of movies and sound design. I love great sound design in things, and I think that is in a way as well a bit of a template to what I wanted to do with this record, was almost create these little movies.
Dan, I don't want to keep you all night, or it's the morning where you are.
Yeah, the morning, yeah.
I could talk to you
I've
along.
got rehearsal, okay? It's a beautiful sunny day in the middle of winter, so winter's not all that bad.
It's always fascinating to me and to my oldest son. He's 8 years old. I tell him about Dan Brodie, and we listen to your music all the time. My son Warren asked me, how old is Cowboy Dan? So that's how he refers to you. And one day I said, he's about 400 years old. I think somewhere around there. I just said it really deadpan. So he truly believes that you're 400 years old.
I love that.
Because of
He's eternal.
Yeah, he loves the Ballad of Cowboy Dan, the title track.
Yeah.
How does it go? I've been around since before time began.
Before the world
began. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll have to meet your son one day, and hopefully I don't disappoint him. Yeah, I need to play that song as part of my set, actually. When I did the album launch, the album only goes for 25 minutes, so I played a bunch of old songs as well, but I've only played that song once, actually, live. So
I got to say, and maybe you can see it here, I did feature it in the background.
Yep.
There's my CD copy of the Ballad of Cowboy Dan.
Yep.
Still unopened, because I usually just listen to it on Apple Music.
Yep.
But I also like collector's items as well. So anybody listening, watching, get yourself a copy of this.
Yeah.
I think that song, Dan, if someone said what's the best Dan Brodie song in the entire catalog, it's a very tough choice, but I think that one is my number one favorite.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
And then off of this record, I mean, it's really hard, but probably Everything Apart from Her Stopped Existing, or gosh, even I Return to the Park. I think it's the shortest track. It's just a little over a minute long, and it's mostly spoken word. There's a little bit of guitar. There's something right there in the middle. I think that might be the most powerful, which is unexpected with something that clocks in about a minute 15 or so. But
yeah, thank you. I remember when I was really young, Henry Rollins had just started doing his spoken word, and he had a piece which I remember was really powerful called I Know You. Maybe it was off his first release. And yeah, even then as a teenager, I remember listening to it thinking, wow, this is really something. And that was, I just thought of that then. And I saw him perform as well when he first came to Melbourne. I think maybe the Dirty Three supported him, or another, one bunch of those guys, because they all knew him. And it was in a really small club. And, that was a formative influence. I always liked Henry Rollins. I always think he's a guy who works hard and seems to care about the world. So
I agree with Henry Rollins, what you described there. I'm always a big fan of originals, and people who do not appear to be modeling themselves very, very closely after somebody else well known. And Henry Rollins is just another one of those figures that completely stands apart from it. But you really can't say, oh, that guy reminds me of Henry Rollins, because there's just one.
Yeah. True.
You know, I mean, maybe Glenn Danzig is another possibly.
Yeah.
Of course, you got the Elvis, Johnny Cash, and some of those very well-known figures, or Waylon Jennings. But
Will Oldham, Bill Callahan.
Mm-hmm. Dwight Yoakam.
They do go along their own path. I really admire people like that too. So,
Dan, I got to wrap up here, but I do want to draw attention and ask you on some of your oldest songs. And I think the very first single, well, there's Big Black Guitar, the first record, and I think there's a title track there.
Yep.
But do you still play I'm Floatin Mamma or Big Hearted Lovin Man in your set currently?
I do. I play I'm Floatin Mamma. I only started playing that again this year, and that's in every set now. That was the first song that I played once I finished the spoken word album live the other night. And
oh, great!
It was, that's one of the first songs I wrote, and that fits in really nicely with the album. I mean, a lot of my style of songwriting anyway is a little bit speaky, wordy, in that Lou Reed vein where you're just talking. The melody's kind of limited, and so I do. Big Hearted Lovin Man, I'll put that on the as we say in Australian football terms, or any football terms, it's on the bench for the time being. It needs a little rest.
Oh yeah.
Because I think I've been playing it for about 20 years now.
There's probably some songs that you yourself maybe get a little stale, but the people who come to see you like to hear them. That's
true. It's a balance. Even if I stop playing certain songs, I try and bring up other ones that old fans will know and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm a sucker for pretty much everything on Deep, Deep Love. Funeraria, I really enjoy that one. I like again, kind of the last three records. They all stand on their own merits. It's different subject matter, different version of Dan Brodie, and I just can't wait to continue to explore Suburban Dreaming.
Oh, thanks so much, Dan.
And hope one day, I hate to say one day soon, or I would love to maybe eventually visit Australia and see you in person, see you perform, but I'm going to just circle the calendar of 2028. Sometime between now and 2028, it would be great to get over there if you, by chance, don't happen to make it. If you get stateside and it's California or New York, let me know and I'll fly out there.
Sure, I will do. I'd love to perform the spoken word in the States sometime, and I'll try and make that happen.
Well, that'd be terrific. Dan, this has been wonderful today. And anything that I'm sure there's a lot I didn't cover. Once we part ways here, I'll think, oh man, I should have brought that up. I should have mentioned this or that. But anything you'd like to promote here at the end?
No, I just hope that people get to have a listen to the new record, Suburban Dreaming, and enjoy it and get something out of it. And I'll be getting another one out, I think, before the end of the year. So
this is a terrific album to listen to if you're going for a walk. Maybe you're going for a walk in a park. I mean, you're walking around a track. There's a park I go to, is a figure 8 track. And if there's a period of time and a walk that you know like the back of your hand that you can close your eyes, or if you want to sit on a bench and listen to it, it is the perfect record for that. It's great for driving, which is what I do a lot of, so I have to listen to my music most of the time when I'm driving, but you're really, really going to enjoy this. And you will relate, trust me, to some of it, or if not all of it, whether it speaks to your past or your present. Dan Brodie, I've so enjoyed reconnecting with you today, and
you too, Dan.
We won't skip a year next time. I don't think we talked in 2025, but if we don't talk again in 26, it's 27 for sure.
That's great. Thanks for talking to me again, Dan. Great to see you again.
Likewise. Thanks, folks, for listening to the Dan Time Podcast. Go out there and take care of yourself, have fun with yourself, have fun with the caricature of whoever, of yourself, and you'll be a fine member of society and a great friend. That's it. We'll see you next time on the Dan Time Podcast. Thank you so much, Dan Brodie.
Thank you.